Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the trading setup as well as market strategies that you should be keeping on your radar. Let's start off with a wrap-up of what happened yesterday. It was the weekly expiry session. The index had opened mildly positive, but it actually failed to attract the follow-on buying. In fact, closed near the day's low as well at 25,062 odd levels. Now, of course, for today, Q1 results, India's forex data for the week that ended July 18, India-UK trade deal, the mixed global cues that we've been getting, institutional investment trends and primary market activity may continue to drive the mood of the markets and the D Street as well on the final trading day of the week. What's happened overnight in the US? Well, in the US, we've actually seen the initial jobless claims that dropped by 4,000 to 2,17,000 for the week ended July 20th. Now, this has defied the expectations of an increase in the data as well. Now, this also marks the sixth consecutively weekly decline and actually reflects the ongoing strength in the labor market in the US. Now, what has happened as a reflection is that the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, both of them inched higher, although there was a tad bit weakness as far as Dow Jones was concerned. It slipped by about 0.7% odd. What happened in the morning as far as the Asian markets are concerned? Well, most of the markets traded lower as investors were still assessing the recent trade developments amidst the global macro signals. Nikkei slipped by about half odd percent. Broader topics also declined by 0.7%, giving up some of those gains that were, being seen in the last couple of sessions due to the, Japan deal that US has struck now. ASX 200 also fell by about half odd percent and Kospi was flat. GIFT Nifty is now getting an indication of a lower start yet again, about 0.45% odd at 24,974. So again, the risk of breaching 25,000 right at the open is what we have. Also, we will look at how the foreign flows are also looking at, and of course, a lot of earnings that the markets will be reacting to. But let's first quickly welcome our guest on board. We are joined by Mr. Mayuresh Joshi from William O'Neill, India, joining in on the program. Warm welcome to you, Mr. Joshi, and thank you so much for taking the time out. Hope you are getting into a speedy recovery zone after your ill health. Getting to the markets, I wanted to start off by understanding from you as far as a lot of moving parts are concerned in the markets right now. Although 3 weeks, 4 weeks on, we've been consolidating in a very narrow band. How are you approaching this market for your clients, sir?
Morning, Sakshi. Thanks for your wishes. No, I think very clearly the market is going through a phase of consolidation where it is trying to gauge how earnings will play out specifically in the next few quarters. Are you expected to see an earnings recovery specifically in the second half? And therefore, I think that is going to be paramount for the markets. The second element, obviously, is in terms of how the geopolitics probably shapes up, as well as the geoeconomic news. I think you are seeing a lot of trade negotiations happening from the US with respect to countries. Yesterday, we had a trade deal with the UK as well. So I think there are a lot of moving parts that are probably happening. From a valuation perspective, I think the earnings matrix, as one pegs it so far, seems to suggest that the Nifty is priced to perfection. And therefore, I think this range move that the market is probably witnessing might continue. But some sectors, some stocks might be outliers even as we speak.
Okay, got that. I think the biggest key point that we need to discuss today is the big India-UK FTA agreement that was signed last evening, and that's going to be extremely important for us to understand. Of course, we will get down to the granular details as to the key sectors that we must watch out for, what exactly will be the overall impact on the entire economy of this deal, how long will the benefits take to come in. But we also have an exclusive tic-tac with Mr. Piyush Goyal on these details and after the signing of this agreement. So let's play that out and we'll come back to our conversation with Mr. Mayuresh Joshi on the same. All right, I think, yeah.
Here with the Commerce Minister, Piyush Goyal, who got the biggest Brexit deal post-Brexit deal for Britain and a large one for India through the line. Many governments changed, sir, but you were there, right there, getting it through the line. Tell me the feeling, first of all.
Well, I think it's truly humbling. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reposed confidence, and I'm delighted that we have been able to deliver on something which has been on and off for the last more than 2 decades. It's been a labor of love of both the teams.
Yes.
There have been trials and tribulations along the way.
Yes.
But I must say at the end, it's a very fair, equitable and balanced agreement. It opens up huge opportunities for Indian farmers, for Indian labor, for our MSME sector. Youth will get a lot of opportunities due to this free trade agreement. We are dealing with the sixth largest economy of the world, which is largely services driven and a high cost economy. So for all the labor oriented products that India makes, high quality products in textiles, home decor, leather, footwear, furniture, toys, pharmaceuticals, auto components, aircraft parts, engineering, a lot of products in the engineering sector, the food processing that we do, it just opens up huge opportunities. And we've been able to safeguard the interests of the sensitive sectors. So we've not opened up dairy, we've not opened up rice or sugar or any of the sensitive items. So truly something which is great for India and will help us in our journey towards Viksit Bharat 2047.
Yes, absolutely. Now, you mentioned challenges a few times. What were your biggest challenges in negotiation? We constantly kept hearing visa was one part of it. Now, tell me the biggest challenge.
Well, I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about immigration and visa. Let me clarify that in any free trade agreement, immigration or visas are never discussed. They are not a part of a free trade agreement.
Right.
What we discuss is temporary mobility. And for temporary mobility, it's a win-win for both countries. The developed world today needs young Indian talent and skills. But that doesn't mean people are migrating. It's just that they come for a year or 2 years or 3 years, do the assignment and go back. And for such people who come in from India to the UK on a temporary mobility or for temporary service providers, for them earlier, they used to lose 25% of their salary or wages or employee benefits because the social.
All right, so that was Commerce Minister Mr. Piyush Goyal talking about how hopeful he is of the benefits that will be seen for India and the UK after this agreement. Mr. Joshi, the key points that we are looking at is that UK imports to India on an average will fall from about 15% to 3%. Now, about 99% of India's exports in the UK will now enjoy zero duty access as well. In fact, there is a hope that annual bilateral trade is now going to be improved by about $34 billion as well. Average tariff is definitely going to be falling a lot. How are you looking at this aspect for the Indian economy at large?
And again, I think if you probably look at the constructs, Sakshi, gems, footwear, textile, rice, there is a plethora of items that have been exempt from duties, which gives all these sectors and companies within this sector as well significant opportunities for growth in the UK market. And therefore, I think there are opportunities within this sector itself. And similarly, I think for a lot of UK products, you're expected to see chocolates, you're expected to see whiskies come in. However, I think there might be some element of capping off as far as whiskies are concerned. However, I think from an Indian perspective, I think with the opening of all these sectors, I think there is a huge opportunity that now exists, and we become a little bit more competitive when it probably comes to the rest of the emerging markets.
Absolutely. When it comes to the key sectors that could be benefited largely in the Indian stock markets purview, how are you looking at some of those sectors that could be immediate beneficiaries?
So again, I think if you look at marine products as an example, aqua products, immediate beneficiaries. If you look at a lot of the textile makers, they already have a presence in the UK. With more impetus coming through for textiles. And it's not just the UK, I think it's how we shape up our trade in the rest of the economies as well. I think we can truly become very, very competitive, specifically to our competitors who have a cost advantage, including economies like Bangladesh, Vietnam, and China, to probably compete with them at a much larger scale with better opportunities. Gems and jewelry, yes, but again, I think it's a hyper-competitive field as we speak. And it really depends on discretionary. So in my opinion, again, I think textiles and aqua products, they can be immediate beneficiaries as we speak, obviously.
Okay. When we talk about the auto sector, sir, how are you looking at that? India has offered tariff concessions on large internal combustion engine vehicles and high-end EVs also, above 80,000 pounds orders. So how is that likely to change the dynamics of the Indian, auto space, and how would investors be really looking at this?
No, for the Indian auto space, you really need to be selective. And with this, I think, does it create a significant landscape change in terms of competition intensity? Probably at the higher end. But again, I think the higher end is restricted to a small percentage compared to the overall car market. But the overall car market, the premium market, which is the higher end market, has been doing exceptionally well as far as India is concerned. And therefore, the higher end market might become competitive. The mid level market, I think is still where a lot of the dynamics when it comes to distribution, sales, servicing, I think all those aspects will probably play out. So, in my opinion, again, I think companies like a Hyundai, as an example, might continue doing well in the Indian ecosystem. High-end cars, competitive, there is market for that, but I think that space hardly has got impacted or might get impacted.
Okay. When we talk about some of the other sectors like liquor space, I think that is one which was showing us a sharp reaction, even when the announcements were to be made and in anticipation of the deal as well. How are you looking at the liquor stocks, sir? What is the impact there, and what do you look at players like Radico Khaitan, United Breweries? How do you look at trading them now, sir?
No, again, I think it with the duty cuts, is that going to be a substantial duty cut where prices quite significantly? When you compare the bottle prices with the Indian liquor manufacturers, I think a lot of our Indian players have started producing world-class products which
Yes.
are recognized on the global scale. And therefore, I think to match both quality as well as price in the current context, I think it is going to be competitive. So it's not going to be a runaway for foreign liquor players as we speak. And again, I think pricing, even if the duty cuts come down, are still going to be relatively higher. So in my opinion, again, I think it is competitive, but our players have got the recognition. We have started producing quality over a period of time. And the premiumization effect is probably showing in our numbers as well, as far as quality, taste, is concerned. And therefore, I think players like Radico is something that we continue holding in our local and global portfolios. We are not too bitter
Okay.
with this announcement.
Okay, got that. So that's as far as the India-UK FTA is concerned. Of course, we will be continuing to dissect more and more sectors for all our viewers to really see the impact of that one. But the markets have settled in pre-open at 25,010. That is about 51 points lower in trade. So the sentiment still on a weaker side on the last day of the trading session of the week. You're also looking at, very few momentum, pockets in the sectors also that could be opening higher. Again, banks could take center stage, 0.18% higher for the Nifty bank. That could be opening better than the benchmark indices. So that's something, of course, we will be definitely keeping a keen eye out on as well. So stocks wise, you can actually see SBI Life, ICICI Bank, Tata Consumer Products, Hindalco, Eicher Motors as some of the stocks that could be opening on the positive zone. Even REC post earnings about 0.7% higher. We'll come to them, but let's start off with the large private sector banks that have been the flavor for the last couple of weeks now. Even beyond the earnings that came in, record high levels for HDFC and ICICI Bank both. What is your fresh approach onto these stocks now?
Also, good set of numbers by
Yeah.
ICICI specifically, Sakshi. And therefore, I think my own take is that the NIM compression was expected with the rate cuts that have happened. A large part of the transmission that has started happening in the banking ecosystem. And therefore, I think in terms of forward-looking numbers, the expectation largely is asset quality pressures should not accentuate. Provisioning has been decent enough. Deposit growth should be decent enough as well. Albeit with rate cuts, I think deposit growth can actually come off. Advances growth should be reasonable enough as well. And therefore, I think the key parameters that you're probably looking at should probably get serviced. So something like ICICI Bank, something like Karur Vysya Bank, we continue holding in active.
Okay, got that. Let's come to the IT pack, sir. That has been again very, very volatile, and most of the earnings that came in did not enthuse the street. It was Infosys a tad bit better that we actually saw. From the mid caps, we also saw a sharp dip on Coforge and Persistent post the earnings, the erstwhile favorites. This is also, a tad different from what we are used to in the last couple of quarters that we have seen mid-cap companies really outperforming the IT majors. How have you assessed a large part of IT numbers that have come in? What have your key takeaways been, and what would you continue to look at, or will you completely stay away even now, sir?
No, so we are completely off, and we were never in the pack itself. I think,
Yes,
except a couple
yes.
of mid-cap IT companies that we always spoke about, which we liked. But however, I think the numbers have been soft. The recovery might be back-ended for the sector as a whole. They need to do hyper investments as far as their AI, Gen AI, cognitive AI products are concerned, or platforms are concerned. And that is going to take a huge accelerated investment, both in terms of creating those platforms as well as training of the workforce towards that. The environment in terms of order wins still remains fluid as we speak, and therefore pricing pressures, though not evident at this point of time, might just take a lag effect in terms of numbers to show up. And therefore, I think we'll keenly watch out for numbers as they evolve. Mid-cap IT, relatively better, but even those stocks are getting hammered. Example, Coforge, which we continue holding, right, in our global portfolios, has got hammered. Good set of numbers, management commentary positive, but the run-up was very, very excessive for the stock, and the general sentiment towards this sector is a little bit sideways as we speak.
Okay. One key earning that everybody is watching out for today after the reaction, after it has already come out and the reaction will be seen, is Bajaj Finance, the largest non-banking lender that we have seen. In fact, it's reported a net profit close to about 22% growth year on year that has come in. The net interest income for the quarter has risen by 22% as well. Fee and income has also risen by about 17% year on year here. We have also seen an improvement on the AUM figures as well, but the stock, if you see in the pre-open, is indicating a 5% downward start. Now, why is this? Because JP Morgan has also downgraded the brokerage firm from overweight to neutral rating, and there you see 906 on the stock as well. Remember, despite the downgrade, JP Morgan has continued to believe that Bajaj Finance remains the best quality NBFC that reflects a rare combination of high growth as well as quality. However, a pickup in the mortgage attrition, weakness in MSME asset quality and continued weakness in 2 and 3 wheeler loans indicate possibility of negative revisions from the street on this as well. How would you look at Bajaj Finance, sir?
No, we'll wait and watch. So again, I think how the numbers have played out so far, and I'm not talking about this quarter, so far, have been a little bit below par. And therefore, I think how forward numbers come out, what is the management strategy? You already seen some element of management restructuring happening over the last few days. How is the entire digital ecosystem evolving? We've been hearing a lot in terms of the digital ecosystem for Bajaj Finance. And again, competition in this field is massive. Therefore, I think we will probably look out for next quarter's numbers as well. At the moment, I think a neutral on Bajaj Finance.
Okay. Beyond Bajaj Finance on the NBFC space, sir, how are you looking at the large opportunities that present themselves? Would it be housing finance? Will it be commercial vehicle finance? What exactly is looking good to you, sir?
So Shriram Finance is something we continue holding. Our take is that
Yes.
good mix in terms of the overall book. They've got a good mix in terms of their borrowings as well. In terms of unsecured loans, very, very minuscule, around 3 or 4%. With rate cuts expected, and which have happened so far, and one more rate cut expected largely over the next few months. The large expectation is that it should start benefiting significantly going forward. Within the housing finance name, PNB Housing is something that we continue liking. Good set of numbers. NIM compression was hardly there, one bit in terms of NIM compression. The affordable segment is growing at a huge pace, and the management is confident that even within the affordable segment, they will be able to manage the asset quality pressures quite efficiently. So I think Shriram and PNB is something that we continue holding in our global portfolios.
Okay, got that. Let me quickly also look at one more stock. Remember yesterday, there was a sharp negative reaction on one stock, and that's IEX, Indian Energy Exchange, and almost 30% of a drop. and this was after the market coupler news had been confirmed by the regulator that will be getting implemented in January of 2026. Now, looking at the reaction today after that 30% of a sharp one-day biggest fall for the stock that we had seen, the stock is actually indicating a slightly positive start as well, and that's also on the back of the earnings that have also come in for the company at large as well. Let's try and understand from Mayuresh as to how is he looking at IEX. What would your first thoughts be on this one?
No, I think with this news, I think the expectation is that the dominance in terms of market volumes, whether it's real-time market or the forward market as well, might start getting shifted to the other player. And therefore, I think the kind of earnings momentum that IEX has been posting might start coming off. And that's what the clear reaction in terms of the market talking. I think it's better not to catch a falling knife very honestly. Let's see how this impact of the news probably actually plays out.
Okay, better not to catch a falling knife. Let's quickly look at how the markets have opened, largely on the lower side. Look at India VIX, that's ticking higher by 2.5-3% odd at 11 odd levels back, and therefore all the sectors are lower. PSU banks just about 1/10% higher. That's the only index that I see in the green right now. The Nifty is opened at 24,954, so below 25,000 start, 110 points lower in trade. It's a weak start for the markets right now, along with the major index Nifty. Now the Nifty bank is also slipping lower. You can also see the mid and the small caps also declining in trade. Small caps, look at the pain in the broader markets that continues from yesterday. Small caps down by 0.8% odd. The mid caps down by 0.5% in trade. What is trading higher in this week setup? SBI Life, ICICI Bank at 1490, BEL, Dr. Reddy's, NTPC, State Bank of India. What's lower? Large part of the stocks are still lower. Bajaj Finance opens with a 5.5% cut at 908. Shriram Finance 3% lower. Bajaj Finserv, Nestle, Bajaj Auto and Jio Financial Services. So the banks, NBFC space that continues to reel under some pressure. Although PSU banks, some of the names are actually ticking higher. IEX has jumped to the top spot in the F&O space, now up by about 5.5%, recovering after that sharp loss of yesterday, and you can see a 141.5 odd level back on IEX. Again, Phoenix Mills is another one that's up by about 3%. Emphasis post earnings is also showing us some higher ticks right now. Within the PSUs, it's only BEL that's hovering higher, but rest of the stocks are actually hovering lower in trade. Let me quickly also look at the broadest index to see if there is any interesting name there. Omax Autos is 15% higher. IEX is now quickly jumping higher. You can see an 8.7% up on this one. Tattva Chintan Pharma, 7.9% higher. This stock is consistently moving up. Let's also look at some of the other names then. We have Saurashtra Cement. Again, the cement buzz that we can also discuss with Mayuresh again is something that can draw our attention as well. We also have Metro Brands that's moving higher. Some of the other names like eClerk Services and all also moving up. But what's down in the F&O is down in the Nifty 500 pack is KFin Tech Technologies. You can see 4.5% drop here. You also have names like Reliance Power and Reliance Infra continuing to reel under pressure. 5% lower circuit yesterday after the ED searches came in. Yet today also the Anil Ambani group of companies are down in trade. Hexaware is also down from the IT pack, and you're also looking at Automotive Stampings and Kelton Tech Solutions, some of these companies that are lower in trade. Okay, so that's how the market has opened. Mayuresh, could you help us understand any key pockets that will continue to draw your attention despite the overall weakness on the major indices?
I think fertilizers as a space will still continue doing well. I think decent set of numbers is what I'm expecting the space to present. Selective banks and NBFCs can also do well, and therefore I think certain pockets in the market can continue doing well. However, I think this season might just be a little bit muted as we speak.
Okay, got that. Mayuresh, any suggestion on the Anil Dhirubhai Ambani group of stocks? I mean, these stocks, Reliance Power and Reliance Infra particularly, had been catapulting higher for the last 1 year or so. I mean, look at Reliance Power, doubled investors' money in the last 1 year, and had been consistently improving on the back of reduction in debt, improving financials, a lot of opportunities in the solar space that we were hearing for the company. Reliance Infra was also into improving morning as well. Then comes this ED searches on money laundering, the case that had been going on. Of course, Anil Dhirubhai Ambani has and the group has come out with a statement also and a clarification post those searches as well. But the stocks continue to reel under. How are you looking at this space? Have your clients been consistently inquiring about this too?
No. So I think we'll be a little bit cautious. I think there are far better spaces in the market to probably look at. So a little bit cautious on this.
Okay, Mayureshi, we will thank you then for being with us on the program. And, we love your insights on the markets. We wish you a very speedy recovery so that you get well and fit very, very soon. Thank you so much with your, for your time with us on Business Today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, viewers, we'll now welcome another guest on our program, and that's Mr. Kunal V. Parar. Good time to really understand from him how to look at the markets. 5 minutes have passed and we have slipped below 25,000 now, Kunal. How are you looking at this persistent weakness, and now we have tested 25,000 yet again?
Well, good morning. Market is trading at 24,928, down by 130 points. Now, further downside would be there up to the level of 24,800. Last time, market made a low of 24,880. But I think this time it may touch this level, and from there we may see some kind of good bounce back as well. So nothing worry about the market as of now. But obviously, yeah, next week we'll be going to high volatile, because next week is a monthly expiry as well as 1st August is there. So how this tariff trade deal take place now, it's depend on this particular agreement between US and India. Yesterday we got the news from UK and India. So let's hope for the best. Now 24,923, 24,800 would be the strong support. We may see a good bounce back up to the level of 25,300. So this is the perfect time to create a long position in Nifty with strict stop loss of 24,800. 25,000 and 25,300 would be our target. And if you talk about Bank Nifty is trading at 56,895. And if you fall up to the level of 56,500, 56,400 would become a good buying opportunity with the strict stop loss of 56,000. Upper side, we may see good upside momentum up to the level of 57,200 to 57,600. So these are the levels based on which one can go for their trading perspective.
Okay, got that. Okay, at the start of the show, if you could help us understand with your top choice of stocks, are you looking at any, or are you going to stay away right now?
Well, definitely I'll be staying right now away, because I'm not getting any particular confidence as of now. No doubt, strong support is at 24,800, but I'm not going to suggest any call as of now. But yeah, one stock is there which looks very attractive to me. It's Ola Electric. Right now this stock is trading somewhere around 42. One can get stock with strict stop loss of 39. If you talk about target side, first target comes at 48. And if stock breaks this 48, then one way rally would be there up to the level of 60. So rather to focus on the trading of positional, one should focus on the medium term, the strict stop loss of in Ola Electric at present level.
Okay, got that. Let me also look at, what's happening as far as the markets are concerned. 24,914, we are now down by nearly 150 points. So right within the first 7 minutes of trade, you can actually see persistent weakness in the markets. Across the board, the markets are actually trending weak. Although some pick up on PSU banks, pharma and realty, but all the other pockets have dipped lower. You can see financial services index that's down by about 0.8%. That's the top loser today. Of course, this is largely led by the heaviest weighted stock in the sector, and that's Bajaj Finance. Autos have driven lower. You can see small caps, private banks, metals, FMCG also tracking lower at this point. Look at India VIX, now 4% higher at 11.1. So there is a very sharp spike in volatility as well. Okay, let me also look at some of the other stocks that we can track for all our viewers. Okay, IEX, we were discussing this one, Kunalji, before you joined in with Mayureshji. After a 30% sharp drop yesterday, today the stock is higher by almost 10 odd percent. At least 1/3 of that move has got recovered. Yesterday there was at least 5 to 6 lower circuits that we had seen on the stock. Suddenly Within the first few minutes of trade, the stock has shot up to positive circuit, an upper circuit of 10%. How are you looking at IEX?
Well, if we talk about IEX, I think IEX has posted a good numbers on card. Net profit jumped by 21% to 113 crore. Revenue also rise by 13%. So we are seeing this follow-up momentum only after this good number. Now, if we talk about the technical part, no doubt this stock looks so very good at present level. It's in extreme oversold condition right now. Stock is trading at 145. One can get into this stock at present level with strict stop loss of 130, 130. And if you talk about target size, then first target would be at 160, and afterwards even it may march towards the level of 185. So I think sharp bounce back would be there because stock is trading in extremely oversold. Plus stock has posted a good number, so double bullish equation is there for the counter to go for long. So one can get into the stock with strict stop loss of 130, 160, 180 would be our target.
Okay, got that. So there you have it, a view that has been shared on IEX as well. बजाज फाइनेंस पर क्या कर रहे हैं कुणाल जी? आज जो रिजल्ट्स के बाद का रिएक्शन है 5.5% डाउन है. अगर जेपी मॉर्गन ने यहाँ पर डाउनग्रेड किया है, यूबीएस ने सेल रेटिंग दिया है, लोअर टारगेट्स दिए हैं, 750 तक के भी टारगेट्स बजाज फाइनेंस पर डिटर्मिन किए जा रहे हैं. कैसे देख रहे हैं अभी आप इस स्टॉक को, एंड व्हाट विल यू डू एंड व्हाट विल यू रेकमेंड टू क्लाइंट्स?
Right now trading at 904 level, I think let it further fall up to the level of 880 and more below up to the level of 860. Now,
Okay.
if it's for long term, then I think this would become a good buying opportunity. This would become a good demand zone, 880 to 860. So nothing to worry about this counter. I am not seeing any momentum below 860. So I'm not thinking about the 750 levels as a target. But yeah, 880, 860 would be the perfect entry zone for creating a long-term portfolio, medium-term portfolio. So nothing to worry about this counter. Now it would become a good buying opportunities for anyone who want to create their long-term portfolio. So 880, 860 would become a good buying opportunities for medium-term to long-term portfolio creation.
Okay, got that. So that's the view that we are getting as well. Okay, now even IT stocks, some of them are picking up pace. Let us look at Emphasis. That's the one that's tracking higher moves there. Remember, strong deal wins, pipeline may actually offset revenue growth miss, is what most of the experts are suggesting. Emphasis is higher by about 4.5%. What is looking good within IT stocks, and what will you do with Emphasis? 4.5%, 5% higher after earnings.
Well, if you talk about Emphasis, no doubt we are seeing a very good upside momentum in this counter, and overall mid cap IT looks attractive, no doubt because of today's upside momentum. But from my side, it's a wait and watch momentum because yesterday's momentum was totally inverted of today's momentum. So one should avoid IT sector as of now. But if you pick 1 to 2 stock for good portfolio creation, then one should look at Infosys right now. Trading at 1547 downside, it has a strong support at 1500 level, 1530 to 1500 level, and I think this is the perfect time to get into the stock with strict stop loss of 1500. If anybody want to go for a short term to medium term, and for long term, this is the perfect level. If you talk about target wise, first target comes at 1650, and more above it, it may march towards the level of 1800. So for Infosys, perfect level to get into stock. But for Emphasis, I think one should wait. Let's volatility get settled down, then only we will take a call.
Okay, got that. The next stock that we are going to be discussing is from the PSU space, power space, and that is REC. This Maharatna company's revenue from operations have now come in at 14,737 odd crore rupees for the Q1. This is a surge of 12.6% from last year same quarter as well. The total expenses for the quarter have stood at 9,157 odd crores. That's also improved from 8,743 odd crore rupees. But despite that, we actually see the consolidated net profit rising by 29% at 4,465 odd crore rupees for the company as well. For REC, most of the analysts continue to bet positively. It is a consensus buy even now. The loan book for the companies on the gross side is grown 10% on a year-on-year basis. How are you looking at REC at 407? This is largely tracked by most of the retail investors and most of the analysts as well. How would you look at it?
Well, stock looks very attractive on a daily chart. Stock has been trading above 50 plus 100 days moving average. and recently it has just come out of its trading range. So stock looks very attractive on daily chart. If you talk about even on weekly chart, stock is forming, stock is trying to sustaining above its 20 weeks moving average. So all the equation goes in favor for creating long position in this counter. One can get into the stock at present level. Now, if it's for if it's for trading or position perspective, one should keep SL at 390, and if it's for short term, then one should keep SL at 380. If you talk about target wise, first target comes at 430, and if stock breaks this level, then further march towards the level of 450 would be there. But if it's for long term, then I think this is the perfect level to get into the stock, because stock has almost corrected from a 640 level to a 360 level, so 40% correction is there. So I think this is the perfect level to get into the stock for long term portfolio creation, and even this stock looks for trading to position perspective as well.
Okay. We will also now draw your attention, Kunal ji, to real estate. The index has, now started to move up strongly. You can see it's the top mover among the sectoral indices. It's at the day's high, 0.6% higher. The stocks that are in the focus right now are Anant Raj, Phoenix Mills, DLF, Prestige Estate, Sobha. They are showing us some higher traction. For Anant Raj, there's a reaction on the results. The consolidated net profit for the company has grown by 38.33% in the June quarter. What we are also seeing is that the other parameters also have seen an improvement. Sales has seen an improvement. Operating margins have seen an improvement as well for the company. How are you looking at Anant Raj at 594? Will you carry on this move?
Well, definitely. Right now, stock is trading at 595, trading above its 20 plus 50 days moving average with a positive crossover, which indicates positive momentum that we may see toward the north-south direction. I think one should get into the stock at present level, but SL will be at 555 level. No doubt, SL is at a little bit lower level, but this would be the perfect SL. And if you talk about target wise, first target comes at 620, and if stock breaks this level, then one way rally would be there up to the level of 800. So risk reward is in favor for creating a long position only. We will keep SL at 555. First target, as I said, it's 620, and if stock breaks this level, then one way rally would be there up to the level of 800. So perfect level, perfect risk reward for this counter.
Okay, got that. The good part is that markets, after hitting that day's low, have started to recover a tad bit. 24,981, 80 points lower in trade. So we have halved the kind of losses that we were seeing some minutes ago. Kunalji, first 15 minutes of a candle must have been formed. Now you tell us what's happening now. Is there a recovery that is in sight? Can we now look at probably a green close today?
As we said just before this conversation, perfect time to get into this Nifty with strict stop loss of 24,800. At that time, Nifty was trading somewhere around 24,910, and right now trading at 24,973. I think first target is achieved. It's at 25,010 our first target, and if Nifty sustain above this 25,010, then further upside would be there up to the level of 25,300. So again, I'm repeating the same level. If any fall again up to the level of 24,900, I think one should get into the Nifty for with strict stop loss of 24,800. In yes, if Nifty hold this the 24,800, then smart recovery would be there up to the level of 25,000, and afterwards 25,300.
Okay, got that. So that's the view on the markets night right now, viewers. Look at some more pickup in the green zone that we can see. Real estate is higher. PSU banks are higher. IT is slightly up. Nifty Bank is trying to move up into the green, and pharma stocks are also buzzing in trade. पहले तो कुणाल जी तत्व चिंतन फार्मा पर बताइए, ये जो मिड कैप कंपनी है 10% ऊपर है और लगातार ये मोमेंटम में है. इसके अलावा भी ओवरऑल फार्मा स्पेस से आपको क्या पसंद आ रहा है ये भी डिटेल कीजिए. 0.4% हायर फॉर द फार्मा इंडेक्स एज अ होल, 10% हायर फॉर तत्व चिंतन फार्मा.
Well, right now the stock is trading at 1120, and I think further upside would be there. Stock has been trading in an upper rising channel formation, trading about 20 plus 50 days moving average. Recently, it has given a breakout of its recent top, which was placed at 1065. If you talk about upper side level, then it may further march towards the level of 1220, and even it may march towards the level of 1350. So from my side, if anybody is holding this stock, please hold this. No fresh buy recommendation from my side. Now we talk about on the other pharma stocks, other pharma sectors, then one to two stocks are there which looks very attractive on a daily chart. And first stock is Ipca Lab, right now trading at 1572. And on this stock, we have been like continuously suggesting to go for long. Right now, this the way stock has been trading on its daily chart, I think we may see a further upside momentum. Right now, stock is trading at 1570. One can get into the stock with strict stop loss of 1514. And if you talk about target wise, then first target comes at 1700, and afterwards, even it may march toward the level of 1750. So risk reward is in favor of creating a long position, particularly in this ICA lab. And if you talk about another stock, then Dr. Reddy looks very attractive on a daily chart. Right now, Dr. Reddy is trading at 1282, trading upwards 20 days moving average. Recently, it has formed its bottom as well. So one can keep SL at 1230. Right now, stock is trading at 1280. If you talk about target wise, for target comes at 1350, and if stock sustain above this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 1380. So Dr. Reddy and Ipca Labs both very attractive for fresh position, whereas Tatwatin and Pharma looks very attractive, but only for holding purpose.
Okay, got that. So I hope this has also helped you out, viewers, in understanding what's the buzz in the markets like at this point in time within the pharma space. As far as Tattva Chintan Pharma is also concerned, you've been shared a strategy on that same as well. Let me just pull up a few more other spaces that we can discuss. You were talking about Ola Electric right in the beginning of the show and our conversation, Kunalji. I wanted to take a view on the entire auto and the EV space as well, beyond Ola Electric as well. We have been seeing a lot of stocks in momentum. SML Isuzu, look at the kind of rally that we have seen there. Olectra Green Tech, after a long haul of consolidation, sharp moves being seen on that one. Samvardhan Motherson is again coming back into the radar. We're also seeing even the large OEMs like Tata Motors, Eicher, all of them also showing us some sorts of gains. How are you looking at the entire auto EV basket? Beyond Ola Electric, what else do you like for the trading zones?
Well, beyond Ola Electric, I think one should keep an eye on Maruti plus Mahindra and Mahindra. Whereas if you talk about Tata Motors, I am literally avoiding this stock. No doubt, stock is trading at 695 above 20 days moving average. But the way stock is working, related to its car portfolio, it's like a very poor performance there. But if you talk about Maruti and Mahindra, this both stock looks very attractive, very aggressive on their product front. So let's talk on the Maruti first. Right now, the way stock has been trading on its daily chart, we may see a very good upside momentum in the counter. Right now, stock is trading at 12,445. Any dip up to the level of 12,030 may become a good buying opportunities for an upside target up to the level of 12,700, and more above it up to the level of 13,800. We will keep SL at 12,000 level. And not only this, even one can go for creating a long position, particularly in this Maruti, because Maruti is planning to come up with this EV Brezza. So I think that would be like a breakthrough for Maruti EV segment. And let's talk on the M&M as well. Right now, M&M is trading 3,240 level. Any fall up to the level of 3,180, it would become a good buying opportunity for creating trading positional medium-term perspective. If you talk about target-wise, first target comes at 3,300, and if stock sustain above this level, then 3,480 would be there. So Maruti and M&M, I think both stocks, looks very attractive, and may do some good wonder for our traders and investors.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has also helped you out, viewers, in understanding how to approach the auto segment at large, what's the buzz here, and the key stocks that Kunalji has kept on his radar as well. Now, Kunal, Adani stocks is something that I wanted to come to. Some of the earnings have started to pour in from the group as well. Adani Energy Solutions is in focus. For the first quarter of FY26, the company has seen the total income grow by about 28% to 7,026 odd crore rupees. We have also seen a profit after tax of 539 odd crore rupees. This is versus a net loss of 1191 odd crore rupees that the company had posted in the same quarter last year. Meanwhile, EBITDA has risen by about 3 odd %, a minor improvement on the operational side. How are you looking at Adani Group stocks and Adani Energy? What will you do post the earnings?
Well, if you talk about Adani Energy, right now stock is trading at 852. I think one should wait for this counter to let it correct up to the level of 814, 810. Exactly where stock has a strong support because even in previously stock took the support of the 7, afterward it went up to the level of 920. So any fall up to the level of 814, 810, it would become a good buying opportunity for medium term. Whereas if we talk about other Adani counters, then I think one stock is there and it's Adani Port. The way stock has been trading on its daily chart, I think we may see a further upside movement on the counter. Right now, stock is trading at 1412. It's taking a support of its 50 days moving average. One can get into the stock at present level with strict stop loss of 1380, 1380. If you talk about upper side target, then first target comes at 1460 and afterwards even it may march towards the level of 1500. So apart from others, Adani counters, I think Adani port looks very attractive.
He got that. So I hope viewers, you've got an understanding on the Adani group of stocks. I'm going to be taking some news related stock names as well, and we'll take some views from Kunal on that. Bajaj Consumer, let's look at that stock. It's 4% down in trade. This is after the board of the company has approved a 186 odd crore rupees of a share buyback as well. Now the company plans to repurchase 64 lakh equity shares priced at 290 rupees. Now thereafter you are actually seeing the stock fall down in trade. This will be worth a 186 crore rupee via tender offer that's coming in. The decision also came in after the recent stock rally despite a profit dip in the previous quarter that we had seen for the company. Any suggestion on Bajaj Consumer?
Well, stock has already formed its shooting star candlesticks formation, which is a bearish reversal formation. Right now, no doubt it is trading with a strong support of 20 days moving average. But if stock gives its close below 230, then further downside would be there up to the level of 200. So from my side, it's a clearly avoiding signal, avoiding recommendation because I am not seeing further upside momentum from the present level. But yeah, if stock approach this level 200 and if it sustain at that level, and I think smart bounce back could be there again up to the level of 240 to 260. So at present level, I think one should avoid this stock. Any close below 230, stock may fall up to the level of 200. So one should keep an eye on 200.
Okay, got that. Let me quickly look at some of the other stocks then. We have looked at SBI Life now from the life insurance pack. That's up in trade. We are looking about 2.2% of an uptick that SBI Life is showcasing to us. Life insurance names, general insurance names, Kunal, are they on trading zones? Are they away from your visible sight right now? What is happening in the insurance basket at large?
Well, if you talk about the insurance basket, SBI looks very attractive. Even HDFC looks very attractive. Not only this, ICICI Pru looks very attractive at present level. So one should keep an eye on SBI right now because stock is trying to do a breakout of its trading range in which it was trading for more than a week. And if you talk about other counters, then ICICI Pru also looks very attractive right now, trading at 619 with strong support of 615. So one should focus on SBI Life and ICICI Pru at present level. If you talk about target wise, then we may see a further upside momentum in this SBI Life counter. It may march toward the level of 1870, and if stock sustain above this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 1950. We will keep accelerate 1770. So SBI looks very attractive on a daily chart. Whereas if we talk about ICICI Group, stock is trading with its strong support. One should get into the stock at present level with strict stop loss of 600. If we talk about target wise, and first target comes at 640, and if stock sustain above this level, then another rally would be there up to the level of 680. So both these stock, ICICI Pru Life and SBI Life Insurance, looks very attractive on daily chart compared to other life insurance and general insurance counters.
Okay, fair point. So that's the insurance names for you. And Kunal, we'll just now shift a little bit focus to the primary market action. We are seeing every day new IPOs coming in, but I think the street is keenly watching out for NSDL IPO. That's coming at least after 7 years of its peer CDSL listed on the D Street. And finally, we have more details. We already told you viewers yesterday that July 30th is when NSDL's 4,000 odd crore rupee IPO will open up. But today we have the price band details as well. Pawan Nahar, my colleague, is joining in to share with us all the details that you must know right ahead of the big IPO launch. The much anticipated IPO of NSDL is going to be hitting the D Street soon, Pawan. I'm sure there is a lot of excitement among investors. Tell me, what should they know right before the IPO hits the street?
NSDL's much awaited IPO is hitting at D Street on July 30th next week, and the company will be offering its shares in the range of 760 rupees to 800 rupees, which was expected. NSDL is looking to raise somewhere around 4,011 odd crores through its primary offering, and it's a pure offer for sale from investors like NSE India and IDBI Bank, SBI, HDFC Bank, and other already existing shareholders of NSDL. And this is NSDL, which forms a duopoly with its peer CDSL, and CDSL may have around double the accounts that NSDL holds. But interestingly, NSDL has more institutional accounts with them, so it will be a very interesting competition between both the players.
Okay. Any brokerage houses coverage that has already come in on the valuation aspect? What are they saying, and what are the opportunities that they are mentioning right now?
So Sakshi, we currently don't have any brokerage reports, as the analyst meet is scheduled later today, and we will be coming up with brokerage reports and other details for our viewers from Monday onwards.
Okay, got that. Thanks a lot, Pawan, for sharing those details. 760 to 800 rupees. That's the price band that you're looking at. NSDL IPO July 30th, complete offer for sale. Those are the details that have already come in. Let's toss the question to Kunal. Kunal, we've been seeing how CDSL, the peer of NSDL, has performed on D Street. 7 years ago, the stock had got listed on the D Street. From that time till now, over 900% kind of returns is what investors have already cherished on the stock as well. It has been one of the darlings and favorites of retail investors at large, of analysts at large as well. But the stock has been now consolidating for a fairly long time as well. And we now need to see how will an entry of NSDL change the dynamics of the space, and how will it get easy or difficult for investors to choose between the two? How are you looking at this opportunity now?
Well, I'm not seeing any difficulty for CDSL. Yes, one thing is there. When BSE came with its IPO, I think everyone was talking about NSE as well. But right now, we have seen that record number of off-market deal, particularly in the NSE. So I'm not seeing any particular difficulties for CDSL. I think our investor category will get the diversification, particularly in the NSDL and CDSL, and they can park their further money into the NSDL as well. So no difficulties for any depository participants. CDSL right now trading at 1656. No doubt since last I think 1 year it has been trading in a range bound momentum only, but breakthrough would be there if stock sustain above 1800 level, and it may march towards the level of 2250. So this is for CDSL, but yes, I think this is a perfect IPO. One should subscribe this IPO for long term perspective. With it has come with price band of 760 to 800. Lot size is 18 cents. So perfect IPO for creating long-term wealth. Not only this, if after listing, if any fall is there, if any profit booking is there, then even it might become a good buying opportunities. So nothing worry about this IPO. We may see a very good spurt in NSDL as well.
Okay, got that. So it's the perfect IPO to really look at for your stock portfolio for long-term wealth creation. That's the confidence that Kunal has displayed. It's a good company to look at, and of course one of the leaders that we are talking about in the capital market spaces as well. So in case you missed out on CDSL IPO, well, this could be your turn to look at an early entry into the depository space as well. Of course, tomorrow onwards we will, in fact not tomorrow but Monday onwards, we'll start to cover even more brokerage houses updates and how are they looking at the opportunities between the two, and where exactly should you be really looking at. But from Kunal, it's a no-brainer and an IPO that you should be definitely looking at for your long-term portfolio. All right, 9:48, Kunal, before we let you go, for the trading session today and for the next week, which will be the expiry week for the series at large as well. What exactly would your suggestion be to the viewers?
Well, no doubt expiry week, monthly expiry is there, but more top on it. I think everyone is focusing on the US India trade deal. So
Yes.
market will be like highly volatile based on this.
Very important.
So we should keep an eye on 24,800 strict stop. If Nifty breaks this, then further downside will be there. So if you are holding any position in the Nifty, please hold this 24,800 as a strict stop loss. And again, I am suggesting to not carry any position during today's trading session for a Monday, because 2 days, and I think anything happen between India and the US, and that may hamper your trading position on a Monday as well.
Okay, got that. Thank you so much then, Kunal, for being with us on the morning edition, helping us with all your thoughts. Markets are again drifting lower, so we'll definitely keep an eye out on 24,922, 140 points lower. So very, very volatile set of move within the first half an hour for 35 minutes of trade that we have seen. 3.8% higher for India VIX, and that's keeping the volatile sentiments very high at this point. We'll wrap it up on that note on the morning edition of Market Today, but market coverage continues on the other side. Throughout the course of this session, you will hear from earnings conversations as well. And of course, in case you have questions about the stocks in your portfolio, ask them away on daily calls. I'll be back at 12 noon with 2 market experts guiding you through all the stock queries that you will have. Stay tuned.
मैं प्रधानमंत्री स्टार्मर के गर्मजोशी भरे स्वागत सत्कार के लिए हार्दिक